Welcome to Investing with Mary Heaton. I hope you follow my videos and in the journey of helping you with getting started to investing, how to invest, how to budget, where to invest, all the way up to retirement, as well as estate planning. My primary goal is to assist you. I will have no sponsorships, nothing is for sale on this channel. This is really about you, the investor, getting started and having a coach and someone to support you. I will release my videos on a weekly basis. They will be between 10 and 15 minutes a piece. I will try to keep them very simple in the beginning with the concepts, and as we grow, the concepts will become not more difficult because you'll be moving from simple to intermediate up into more complex stages. My history is pretty vast in the financial service industry. If you want to, you should always Google the people that you're working with or you're listening to any of the information. My name is Mary Heaton. You could go onto the FINRA website, you could Google me, get all the information. Now, that's the first thing that you should know. Anytime that you're working with someone or you're taking any advice, consultations from someone, you want to be sure that you know who the person is, if they're a reputable person, and what type of industry licenses they have. My goal is obviously to help everyone. I think there is a true need for this in the financial service industry. People sometimes think that they don't have enough money to get started. They don't know where to start. And that is my goal, to get you started and get you there. So regardless of where you are, maybe episode 1 through 3 isn't for you, but it might be for a child. It could be for a grandchild. It could be for a sibling, someone that you know that really needs help. So if it's not directly for you, I'm sure there's someone that would be able to help with these videos. Now, primarily, I do want to focus on the generations that are a little bit more underserved in the industry. That will be Generation X, the Millennials, and Generation Z. Now, those are the generations that are also a lot of time in debt, but this generation has a lot of strength. They have the strength that they've been through COVID. They've been through the millennial portions. They've been through a lot, like many other generations in our country has. But the difference is that they're having to more and more count on themselves to be able to invest. Because as pensions are going away, as Social Security will not be making up as much of a portion of our retirement, it is left on your shoulders, obviously. Now, I have children in that generation. I have grandchildren. They'll be growing up. That's why I really want to be out there and help. A lot of the information that these generations are getting is through YouTube, through different websites, through friends. I will post a lot of slides and stuff for you to be able to follow through. So you could say, oh, okay, here's where she's getting the information. This is what's going on and where we could help. But the first thing that I want to emphasize is we need to start. We need to start saving. The best place to be able and save if you're looking for a longer term savings. So anything that's 6 months or less, go to your local bank, do a savings account. That's going to be perfectly fine for doing a CD. But when you're getting to the point that you're saying, okay, I want to start building for my future. I want to put on my big person pants and really start to invest more myself. That's where you're going to look for a brokerage firm or something real. Crypto is fun. That's not what we're going to talk about. We're talking about real, solid assets. And I am going to tell you that again, I am not being paid. I am not sponsored by anyone. However, the firms that I know that are very reputable in being able to help you, that have low fees and everything, are going to be Vanguard for low fees, excellent online website. They do not have an office you could walk into, but you could call and get assistance. Schwab, another very reputable firm. They have a lot of investment products. You could go onto their website. You could open the accounts. Both of these firms have very low to no fees. Fidelity Investments. If you've Googled me, you know that's where I work from. So I'm a little bit partial to them. Excellent website, 24 hours, 7 days a week assistance and being able to help. We'll talk about the different accounts, what kind of account makes the most sense for you to open depending on what it is, the minimums, and again, be sure that you're keeping the fees low because it's coming out of your money. It's an expense. It's going to hurt your returns over time. So that's very important. You also want to set up something systematic. So maybe you decide I could put aside $10 a week or $20 a week. Then we're going to set up an automatic payment out of your paycheck or out of your savings account that goes directly into this account. And again, we'll talk about what account makes the most sense for you. Then we'll look at the type of investments that make the most sense, how to be able and save on taxes, how to be able and get out of debt. This is everything that I want to cover for you. But the first one is I really want you to focus on this slide. And if you're older than these people already are, don't let that concern you because that just means that you're going to have to work a little bit harder to get there. But doing nothing is a choice that you're making, and it is the wrong choice. What this slide is showing you is the effects of saving early. And remember, if you're already past that age, doesn't mean you can't build the wealth. I didn't start an IRA till I was 33 years old, so that kind of tells you that you're always in time. So what this is it's basically showing you over time how compounding can affect if you are contributing only $5,500 a year at various ages. So if you start at 25 and you contribute $5,500 a year, this is going up into your mid-60s, you could potentially have, using hypothetical market portfolios, $950,000. If you wait 10 years to start saving, that means that you would only have approximately $510,000 in the same scenario. If you wait 15 years, you're looking at $370,000. So you're noticing that you're having to save a lot more by just waiting an extra 5, 10, or 15 years. Now, here's the thing is, don't look at these and say, oh my goodness, I am starting at 35 or at 40, I'm only going to have $370,000. Remember that retirement is not a destination. It's not college. It's a journey. So although some of your money will only be growing for 20, 25 years, a portion of it should continue to grow throughout your retirement. That's why I'm saying save early, get to it. But if you're already past those early stages, still save because it still is a long journey for you. We're planning to live into our mid-80s as life expectancy nowadays. So even if you start at 4, it still gives you 45 years for a portion of your money. So again, emphasizing saving. And then again, in the next video, we'll talk about what type of accounts, tax-deferred, taxable accounts, and go into that scenario. Here's another example. We have Sarita and we have Chris. So Sarita, at the age of 25, is out of college, doesn't go to college, decides to enter the workforce. Doesn't matter. You can still save the money. Again, we'll talk about how. Sarita saves $7,000 a year for her first 10 years between the age of 25 and 35. Now, although I don't agree with it, this example is showing that at the age of 35, she stops making contributions to the portfolio. So she's contributed a total of about $70,000. But because of time that's in her favor and compound earnings, Sarita's portfolio, hypothetically at the age of 67, would have almost $902,000. Even though she didn't save as long as even though she didn't save as long as Chris, she still ends up with more money because she started early. Now, Chris, same thing. Poor guy wasn't able to start saving or chose not to start saving till the age of 35. Saves the $7,000 a year, but he has to work a lot harder because of the delay in time. So he is saving $7,000 a year for 32 years. So he's having to put in more than
$210,000 of his own money, the same age, he ends up with $825,000. Still a wonderful amount in savings, but that starting early, that long-term savings makes a huge difference. Now, what the example isn't telling you is that this is at 67. Obviously, if Chris waits a little bit longer to draw money out of this portfolio and decides to do something else, it will again come close to doubling for him. It's just a question of how long you're going to wait to take the money out of the portfolio. So do not let the fact that you haven't started yet stop you in any way. I hope this is helpful. I really appreciate you watching these. And again, the only way that I am supported is through your subscription and comments. Thank you.
It's not necessarily a scientific rule, but it's going to give you a pretty good basis. The rule of 72 is that if you divide a number into that, it tells you how many years it takes for your money to double. So if you're making 2% on your money, which could be a savings account or even worse, it will take 36 years for your money to double. It's not going to keep up with inflation. It is not going to help you. If you are making 10% on your money, it'll take you just a little bit over 7 years to be able to double. Now, there are no guarantees in the stock market. There are no guarantees in life. Anything that you invest in, you're making a choice. Whether you're buying a car and you know it's going to depreciate, whether you're buying a home and you're hoping that everything goes well. But you have to step out. You have to build a diversified portfolio to be able and one day retire. Retirement is not a gift that is given to us. It is something that we work for. It is something that you're going to reach. You're going to get older. We're all going to get there. Trust me, it happens a lot faster than you think. And in addition to that, you don't know what your health is. So you want to build up a nest egg for yourself, for who's important to you. You want to build that up. Let's get started. Episode 2, I'll show the different type of accounts and different ways that you could save. So thank you for joining my channel. I definitely appreciate you. And let's do this. Let's do this together. I'm there to help out. You can put in comments anything you have additional questions with. Take care.